On October 16th, 2014, I wish I'd been there.
For the first 4 seasons of the 2010s, only 2 different teams for the National League had been to the World Series. In the odd-numbered years, it was the St. Louis Cardinals. In the even-numbered years, it was the San Francisco Giants. In the 2014 National League Championship Series, both would be dueling it out to see who would be making their 3rd trip to the World Series in the decade. It would be the 2nd time these teams met in the NLCS in 3 seasons, and the 3rd NLCS meeting between these two in the 21st century. Unlike 2010 and 2012, where they won the division, the Giants would be playing in the 2014 postseason as the wildcard team after obliterating the Pittsburgh Pirates in a one-and-done NL wildcard game. Madison Bumgarner pitched another gem, and Brandon Crawford took care of the rest with a grand slam in the 4th inning to break open an otherwise tight scoreless game. The Giants would face the Washington Nationals in the NLDS, the top seed of the National League managed by Matt Williams. I may have mentioned his name in a few videos. The Giants would come home with a 2-0 series lead after winning by a run in both games, which included an 18-inning marathon in Game 2. Brandon Belt hit a homer in the 18th to break the deadlock. After losing Game 3, the Giants finished off the Nats in Game 4, thanks to some sloppy pitching from the Washington bullpen. Appearing in their 4th consecutive NLCS, the Cardinals were looking to get back to the World Series after losing to the Boston Red Sox in 2013. In the 2013 NLCS, they faced and eliminated the Los Angeles Dodgers. In the 2014 NLDS, the Dodgers would get another crack at the Cardinals behind their ace pitcher Clayton Kershaw, who would be winning his 3rd Cy Young Award that season. In a tightly contested series, the Cardinals would eliminate the Dodgers in 4 games. As mentioned earlier, the last time these two met in the postseason was in the 2012 NLCS. The Giants overcame a 3-1 series deficit by slowly choking the life out of the Redbirds, outscoring them 20-1 in games 5 through 7 en route to another World Series championship, sweeping the fully loaded Detroit Tigers. In Game 1, Madison Bumgarner threw 7 2/3 innings of shutout ball, giving up only 4 hits. The Giants scored on small ball early and won 3-0. Game 2, the Giants tied the game up in the 9th after Cardinals pitcher Trevor Rosenthal threw a wild pitch that would put Joe Panik on base, but would score Matt Duffy. In the bottom half, Sergio Romo would take the L after Colton Wong hit a walk-off homer to even the series. Game 3 at AT&T Park, the Giants jumped out to a 4-0 lead after the 1st inning. The Cardinals would then slowly chip away at the lead until they tied it in the top of the 7th after a Randall Grichuk solo home run off of Tim Hudson. The game would go to extras tied at 4. This one had a surprise ending, with no one out in the bottom of the 10th. Juan Perez on first and Brandon Crawford on second. Gregor Blanco would lay down a bunt to move the runners over. You could say Randy Choate done fouled up. Game 4 was another one of those games where the momentum swung violently. The Cardinals led the Giants 4-3 after 3 innings. In the bottom of the 6th, the Giants would play more small ball and had a 6-4 lead. Their bullpen kept the Cardinals off the board and took a 3-1 series lead going into Game 5. Looking back on it, this seemed a little familiar. Starting pitcher for the Cardinals, Adam Wainwright. This would be his 2nd start of the NLCS, taking the loss in Game 1. As of this video, Wainwright has been playing his entire big league career for the Cardinals since 2005. He's been a 3-time All-Star, a 20-game winner in 2010 and 2014, and led the National League in wins in 2009 and 2013. He won a World Series with the Cardinals in 2006. He missed the 2011 season while recovering from Tommy John surgery, missing out on that fantastic World Series run. Wainwright was on the 2013 team that lost to the Bo Sox. Starting pitcher for the Giants was Bumgarner. I'm not saying Mad Bum carried the team, but he did carry a lot of the load in the 2014 postseason. His last outing in this series I've already glossed over. His legendary postseason performance that year would place him among the greatest starting pitchers in the history of the San Francisco Giants era. Before signing with the Arizona Diamondbacks prior to the 2020 season, Bumgarner was a 4-time All-Star and won the Silver Slugger Award in 2014 and 2015 for hitting way above the Mendoza line. The Cardinals got a little rally going with 1 out in the top of the 1st. John Jay and Matt Holliday hit back-to-back singles, but Johnny Peralta would line out and Jay got doubled off to retire the side. In the bottom half, after a leadoff single by Gregor Blanco, Wainwright retired the next three batters. Both teams were retired in order in the second. In the top of the third, the Cards began to rally. Bumgarner walked Tony Cruz to lead off the inning. Wainwright would lay down a sac bunt to move Cruz over. Next, Bumgarner would walk Matt Carpenter. John Jay would step up and put the Cards on the board first.
Same for Panik at second base. The pitch. Jay hits it hard, left center field. Ishikawa can't make the catch. The ball goes over his glove. Cruz is going to score. Carpenter makes third, and he'll get the stop sign. It's an RBI double for John Jay, 1-0 Cardinals.
He misjudged that ball.
He misplayed that one completely.
Nothing further happened as Mad Bum set down the next two batters. With 2 outs in the Giants' half of the third, Gregor Blanco would get on base with a single. Next up, Joe Panik wouldn't wait long to find a pitch to crush.
Blanco does not go to pitch. Panik gets a high drive to right. Down the line. It is out of here! And the kid from Double-A gives the Giants the lead. It's 2-1.
In the top of the fourth, Matt Adams led off for the Cardinals. Adams would go deep for the tie.
Baseman named Marco Scudero did them in. Adams swings and he hits a fly ball right field. Pence looks up and this one is gone. A home run. Just got over the wall. And Adams ties the game with a home run. It's his third this postseason, his second in this series.
After Randall Grichuk flied out and Colton Wong struck out, Tony Cruz would put the Cardinals back on top as Bumgarner gave up the second home run in the inning.
Now the pitch. A swing and a long drive. Deep left field. This is a gunner. Tony Cruz hits his first postseason home run. And the Cardinals lead 3-2 with a homer by Adams to tie it and a 2-out shot by Cruz in the top of the fourth inning.
The Giants would try to get a rally going in the bottom of the fourth. Pablo Sandoval led off with a double. Hunter Pence would be walked. Up next was Brandon Belt. He would line out to second, and Sandoval would get doubled off for a twin killing, just like what happened to the Cardinals in the first inning. The Giants were done after Wainwright walked Travis Ishikawa. The Giants left 2 more runners stranded after Brandon Crawford struck out. Then for a few innings, Bumgarner and Wainwright were untouchable. In the 5th, 6th, and 7th innings, both pitchers were serving donuts and setting down batters in order. Wainwright struck out the side in the bottom of the 6th. Bumgarner kept the Cardinals off the board in the top of the 8th with another 3-up, 3-down inning. However, the Giants were still behind. The Cardinals were still in a position to take the series back to St. Louis. Double switch for the Cardinals as Peter Bourjeu would replace Wainwright and hit 9th in the lineup. A new pitcher for the Cardinals as 2014 All-Star Pat Neshek would replace Holliday and hit 3rd. Bumgarner's night would be done as Mike Morse would pinch hit for him. This was when things got interesting. Just try not to shatter the windows of the ambulance, Mike.
Neshek, 1-1 pitch. Swing, and there's a high drive. Down the left field line, hooking toward the corner. Good man! It's tied up. And Michael Morris hits the long ball that Bruce Bochy was hoping he'd hit.
That's right, Mike. They won a curtain call. Neshek settled down after blowing the lead and retired the next 3 batters. I was driving home from my job in Los Gatos that evening and listened to a bulk of the game on the radio on the way home. I would scream Dwayne Kuiper's home run catchphrase,
It is out of here!
when Morse went yard. I got home at around the top of the 9th inning and there was no one home. My wife and baby girl were out to dinner and I didn't know when they were coming home. So there would be some jubilation happening if the Giants won. Santiago Casilla would come on to pitch for the Giants in the top of the 9th. This was when the Cardinals would try really hard to take it back to Busch Stadium. After Peralta grounded out, Matt Adams would draw a walk and Grichuk singled to left. The Cards needed some speed to get that go-ahead run. Daniel Descalso would pinch run for Adams. Wong grounded to short and Grichuk would be forced out. Runners on the corners and Cruz stepped up. After Wong stole second, could Cruz give the Cards the lead again? No, but he walked to load the bases. One thing about Casilla, there were times when he blew saves at the worst possible time. Bochy didn't wait any longer and brought in Jeremy Affeldt. Oscar Taveras would pinch hit for Bourjeu. He would hit a grounder that Affeldt would take care of himself and the Giants would get out of the jam. In the bottom of the 9th, Descalso and Taveras would stay and play first base and right field respectively. Michael Wacha would take the mound and hope to keep the Giants at bay and force extra innings. This was when the Giants would try to end it. Kung Fu Panda would get things going with a single to right. Then Joaquin Arias would pinch run for Sandoval. After Pence flied out, Wacha walked Belt. Travis Ishikawa would come to the plate. Ishikawa was on his second stint with the Giants and was on the World Series winning team in 2010. In 2014, he was designated for assignment while with the Pittsburgh Pirates and became a free agent on April 23rd. A day later, the Giants signed Ishikawa to a minor league contract. Later on in the season, the Giants called him up after Belt was injured. Ishikawa would remain on the roster and accepted the challenge of playing in the outfield despite his primary position being a first baseman. With speed on second, all I asked for was Ishikawa to put the ball where the Cardinals outfielders couldn't get it. I think this moment would be better heard in another language.
Ishikawa dice, bye, bye, baby, San Francisco Giants regresan a la Serie Mundial con esa bomba de Travis Ishikawa. Este cuadrangular es traído a ustedes por el nuevo y audaz Toyota Camry. Vayamos juntos.
Turns out that I got more than what I hoped for. Did anyone see this moment and possibly thought of the shot heard round the world from 1951? I think a lot of Giants fans channeled their inner Russ Hodges that night. I know I did. This was why I called that homer the shot heard round the cove. For the third time in the 2010s, the Giants were representing the National League in the World Series. One thing I enjoy doing in my sports viewing life is finding little historical coincidences. This entire postseason run turned out to be one. This reminded me of the 2002 postseason with a few minor tweaks. The Giants made the postseason as a wild card that year, just like in 2014. In the NLDS, they would defeat an NL East team, just like in 2014. In the NLCS, the Giants defeated the Cardinals in 2002, the same way they did in 2014.
In the right field, a base hit. The throw by Drew to the plate. The Giants are going to the World Series.
Would this trend continue? Yes. Yes, it would. The Giants would face a wild card team in the 2014 World Series, just like they did in 2002. The Kansas City Royals entered the Fall Classic with nary a scratch. They had a rally from 4 runs down and in extra innings to beat the Oakland A's in the wild card game. Next, they swept the Angels in the ALDS. The Angels had the best record in baseball that year. The Royal Blue Army of House Kansas City continued to storm through the baseball kingdom and swept away the Baltimore Orioles in the ALCS. So 2 wildcard teams would face off for baseball's biggest prize. It's been a while since that happened. Not since, well, would you look at that, 2002. Even the American League team had home field advantage in this series, just like in 2002. Strangely enough, the Giants followed the 2002 script in this series. They won Game 1 by dealing Kansas City their first postseason loss. The Royals would bounce back quickly, winning the next 2 games, like the Angels did in 2002. The Giants would respond in the next 2 games in the same way when the series was in San Francisco. They won the next 2 with a large run differential, and the series would shift back to the AL Park with the Giants 1 win away from the title. The Royals would force a Game 7, just like the Angels did in 2002. Except the Giants didn't blow the lead with 6 outs to go. They were finished by the second inning. In Game 7 of the 2002 World Series, the Giants fell short and the long wait for a championship in the San Francisco era continued. That was in a long line of road teams losing Game 7 of the World Series. The last road team to win Game 7 of the series were the 1979 Pittsburgh Pirates. This did not bring hope to me after the Giants losing 10-0 in Game 6. I didn't even watch Game 7 that night. I was so edgy that night, I couldn't bear to watch. Later that evening, my friend in Nevada called me, and all he could say was, "Freaking Bumgarner." After the Giants took a 3-2 lead in the top of the 4th inning, Jeremy Affeldt relieved former Moneyball ace Tim Hudson. After an inning from Affeldt, Madison Bumgarner would take the mound in the 5th inning and would pitch the rest of the game. He would silence the Royals batters for 4 innings. The Royals pulled out all the stops in the bottom of the 9th. That included a single by Alex Gordon with 2 outs that could have been an inside-the-park home run if the error by Blanco was worse than it was. But Bumgarner would get Salvador Lopez to pop out and to pick up his only save in his long career. The Giants won their 3rd championship in 5 seasons, and Bumgarner would add a World Series MVP award along with the NLCS MVP he earned. The Giants had written an alternate ending to 2002 in 2014. Since the Giants broke the Game 7 road curse in 2014, no home team has won a Game 7 of a World Series since then.
Ishikawa's shot heard round the cove was without a doubt the number one moment of that Giants 2014 World Series run. Now, I wasn't there, but here's someone who was.